editor of the Chronicle was my boss. I was learning under him, even though I worked at Joy FM. Joy FM allowed me to go and be studying his ways of doing things. So I'll go to his office in Nkansa. I'll be sitting there the whole afternoon watching him do his work. And then Joy FM will ask me, what did you find, and all of that. So I was talking to him on a very regular basis. So when this debate occurred, and in those days I used to hang out with Gifty Afenyi-Dadzie, Bryce Bleu, Ransford Tete, who was the editor of The Graphic, all of those DJ. We used to meet at the DJ Harun Atta, and they were the seniors, and the quality of the conversation among those journalists in terms of public policy. What is NDC, what's NPP doing? Cabral Blame here will be seated. Gifty Afenyi-Dadzie will be there. Kofi Kumsin will be there. Harun Atta will be there. Ben Efson will be there. I mean, that was something. By the time you leave that conversation, you've been to journalism school. I don't know whether it's still happening. But anyway, let's get back to the book. Okay, Chronicle editor Kofi Kumsin drops a bombshell. It's here. The setting of the event had Professor Mills and his team seated at a high table, while dozens and dozens of journalists, nearly 100 of them, sat in the audience. This occurred an hour before the event started at 10 o'clock in the morning. I was with Chronicle editor Kofi Kumsin, and thus here is my eyewitness account. So from here, in the book sometimes I break into an eyewitness account. So sometimes I'm writing like a reporter, sometimes I'm writing like an eyewitness. So I break into eyewitness. So it's inverted commas. Okay. On the morning of the event, I, a Joy FM news reporter, stayed in the company of Kofi Kumsin, editor of the Chronicle. We arrived at the event venue, International Conference Center, together. After Professor Mills had taken his seat, the room was too packed for us to find seating. We therefore both sat in the aisle and on the right on the floor. If you could believe that, yes, you could. So this was me walking into the press conference. Professor Mills was already seated. Somehow, Kofi Kumsin wanted us to get in late. I'm not sure why. Those of you who know him, you can understand the story. He wanted us to get in late. I'm not sure why. But, I mean, I'm the junior one, so I'm working with him. So we walk inside. Professor Mills already seated. And I tell him that everywhere is full. He said, it doesn't matter. We sit on the floor. So we start climbing the stairs in the aisle, and then we sit on the floor. And the whole room is looking in our direction because this Kofi Kumsin is the biggest media item in these circumstances ever. And he arrives in the room in the company of a small boy news reporter, and everybody's wondering what's happening. I'm holding his recorder, and I'm holding mine as well. So we walk in together, and then I tell him that Uncle Kofi, I used to call him Uncle Kofi. Uncle Kofi, the place is full. He said, well, let's sit on the floor. So we sit on the floor. All right, let me tell you what happened after that. All right, so we therefore sat in the aisle and right on the floor. I took Kofi Kumsin's tape recorder together with mine and walked up to the high table to place it in front of the event speaker that we might get a clear recording, as did many. Oh, sorry. All right. The event began with the moderator welcoming the media and reiterating the reasons why Professor Mills could not attend the main debate. He summed up his introductory remarks by indicating that Professor Mills would give a short statement, then proceed to take questions. When Professor Mills took the mic, he was full of smiles and seemed a very content public official. It was very clear that the Vice President had taken some lessons in communication shortly before this event. Dressed in a dark political suit, he spoke with that almost permanent smile for 2 or 3 minutes. Then he invited questions. Major important questions were asked in turn, and quite a few drew responses from the audience. But the one that drew the longest cheer was Kofi Kumsin's famous question, paraphrased as follows. So Kofi stood up and said, Mr. Vice President and presidential candidate of the NDC, thank you very much for this opportunity. You have already said in Ho at the last NDC Congress, in reference to Rawlings, quote, at this stage he read from his notes. Kofi Kumsin then read from his notes. He said, he's telling Professor Mills that you said, I will call on you morning, day, and night. Kofi Kumsin continued, in these circumstances, and this was the big question, he said, in these circumstances, what would you do about the bigotry of the 31st December Women's Movement and their insensitive leader, First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings? I tell you, viewers, you should have been there. What happened in the room? This is 2000. Rawlings is president. He's the strongest man in Africa. Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is a very powerful figure in the NDC campaign. Everybody is afraid of 31st December Women's Movement. They have a red beret. Now nobody sees the red beret anymore 24 years down the line. But they used to have a red beret. And they were a very effective group of people. They were a political machine. Cecilia Johnson, others. They were massive. And everybody was afraid to talk about Mrs. Rawlings. And Mrs. Rawlings had been the reason why some journalists had gone to jail on criminal libel. because they had published issues about her bathroom wear and all that, the things that she had in her bathroom, a jacuzzi and something. And then there had been criminal libel situations. Mrs. Rawlings was the reason why the debates began whether people who were not public officials can have access to criminal libel prosecution, etc., etc. So Mrs. Rawlings was a major figure. Kofi Komsin stands up in front of Professor Mills, who is trying hard to show himself as different from Rawlings in that campaign. And now he's going to say that he's going to rely on Rawlings, but he's trying to distance himself from everything negative about Rawlings. And then in this press conference, Kofi Komsin comes and says that, what would you do with the bigotry of the 31st December Women's Movement? And the insensitive leader, that's the West insensitive leader, first leader, Professor Mills doesn't know what to say. Okay. This question drew wild laughter, cheers, and general noise lasting for more than 5 minutes. During the interim, and by the time Professor Mills settled down to answer the question, the famous Kofi Komsin quietly exited the hall and beckoned me to pick up his recorder to take it to his office. So after Kofi asked the question and everybody was, hey, he just told me that, family recorder number I, and he walked out. I remained there. So by the time the thing settled, the Kofi Komsin was not there. By the time Professor Mills was answering the question, Kofi Komsin was not there. In fact, Professor Mills looked in our direction and was trying to catch. He thought I saw him sitting there. He didn't quite say anything. But I noticed that he was looking in the direction. And I was the only one sitting there. I was left naked. Everybody was looking at me. Those behind me asking me, hitting my shoulders. Where's your man? I said, he's gone. And they said, he's gone. I said, he's gone. A lot more of that in the book. There are 2 other stories that I'll bring to you on tonight's edition of the show. Let's get to Dickness and his group of people, and let's hear what they have to say. Before then, let's watch what Dickness and his people have been doing. So there's a video that is a Galamsey video, something they did on Galamsey. Can we have a look at it? Can you show that? Just show the Galamsey here.
What's that? Hey. Yeah. What's that? So I don't come here, comment him, Papa. Hey, catch the one could open for them, Brian. Hey, your friend. Yeah. I'm Papa. Hey, Galamsey, they said that was what took us. You're quite chill, Papa. Now, no, go soon. You want to say, Papa. Papa. Or it's Gala, nobody. Yeah, you should have said no. For friend number. Miles upon the malady, infinite day, are not. Whilst my nanny middle ground. You also my mediated Mamma would deep. Or how much it pints was only way now. Jack, was saying Sunina. What's saying so? I'll compare Piala. Oh, in the last day. Yan, so that. Jitty, oh, you should have no. Oh, Jitty, and Bioma. Half a fire, Betty. Papa. You should want to say, into one of your liberal men. Baby, and say, maybe to be a nippy. Don't do excellent. But for a petty, I said, oh, Chitty, I am just saying to what happened. You are fasting, and to what happened. You it's all give me a yellow baba. We see you now. I will keep the yellow baba. I will live on the hospital. What's that? Chitty. I come at Papa. Hey, I some more. Then into me that. I'm saying no one's been me down with the alarm. Village.
TV off. TV off. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Thank you very much. Dickness. What could you know about Brofo?
Hey, yeah, lawyer, city.
Oh, they speak English.
Yeah, other Brofo.
They speak English. Yeah. Okay. Better be sound. I'll be asking you, how did you start? Because this is becoming very interesting in Ghana. Young men putting skits together. You are doing it. Other people are doing it. That's really something. This is a skill that we didn't know we had. We saw Sofodazi, we saw Bra. We've seen people go abroad, dance ensemble, Ghana dance ensemble. But now we're seeing that the talent is real, and that if we can put this talent together as a trade facilitation policy, we can really do a lot with this. So I want to ask you, how do you start? How do you put it together? And how would you like people to respond so that this industry can grow? Just before then, though, let me take text messages and let me ask, Anziba, what are people saying? Just give us 3 of it.
Much, Paul. From Kobe Dami, he says, I definitely need to grab a copy of your book, Paul. Congratulations. And as Jimfi says, Captain Smarts, when are you writing a book for us? Lastly, from Francis Mensah, he says, congratulations, Paul. Is the book available online? Over to you.
Yes, quite a number of people seem very excited about the book. A lot of people are congratulating Paul. Jamal M. Abubakar says, congratulations, Paul Ademotri. Writer J says, congratulations. A few people are also asking where they would get copies of the book to buy. Maxwell and she says, congratulations, Paul. We are waiting for the enemies to write their book. And lastly, Daniel Abdullahi says, Chairman Paul, please don't forget to get it on Amazon so that I can get a copy. People also want to know if there will be an e-version of the book so they could grab one online. Now back to you, Paul.
Okay, yeah, there will be an e-version. It's not yet launched. It will be launched very soon, in a few days. Okay, Dickness, Inti, what is your background? What's your real name? What is your life?
Dickness Kofi Abokuma. But my real name is Ebenezer Kofi Arthur.
Oh, Ebenezer Kofi Arthur.
Or change.
Nah, what's your background?
Okay. Education level, Nesby says that. Namakana Mary Tertiary.
Okay, good.
Yes, very tertiary. Benadumara.
So who is this man?
Eyamaba. That's my son, Yabaya.
Yeah.
Yabaya.
A son is called Ya.
Yes.
Why?
Oh, one of the contents. Yes, he was washing a female pants. Then we needed any free coffee. And Mr. Say, who be 4 dresses are. When he said, what's in coffee, my son? My phone Yabaya. When he said, I Juma.
Then who is this? A colleague?
Yes, senior colleague.
Endofojo. Okay, so why? Let me ask you. Why do people do the cross-dressing thing?
Okay, first of all, we give thanks to God. Has been so great to us. With the cross-dressing, some more. Papa, no, no, country na yin so.
Oh, but 20 country,
me law school, me ko baby, me course, me law school ni echi. No. With the cross dressing, I think say time and I started TikTok, with the normal dressing as a guy, people were not liking it.
Okay.
We post a video, it doesn't go.
It won't go.
When you do the skit and you dress a guy as a guy,
It won't go.
as soon as I started dressing like women,
It's like magic.
I don't know, a draw or more attention.
yeah, but that makes sense. I'll be drawn to a man.
Yes.
But does it mean that the people look at the appearance before they buy the content? I don't mean buy with money, but before they get into the content?
It depends on what you are bringing out. That will make them get the concept.
So all your skits are cross-dressing?
Oh, not all of them. Or you need Narana or your cross-dressing. Sometimes, content is about to paddle. Because most of my content, me abrewa. I dress like an old woman. And I want to portray what your number of from where you will feel. It's me as a want to mention in being one and no. Academy being one as an what to my year. But also the many abrewatsine. My grandma said something. Nindi any bino. Because I was raised by my grandmother.
And you can act it.
Exactly.
Is that a talent?
My friend, a talent or a gift from
For
God.
you also?
Same.
It's a talent.
Yes.
Talent, I can kind Article 119, Section 3000, Women's Law. okay, kind ho kakra free so
Section 3000
section 3000
of Article 119.
yeah, Romans law.
Romans law.
Yeah, if free so ho junction so kakra mania fa the other left kakra you could see say na a talent and yakopon edema because yes you there the nam no and people are really loving it. Our Romans law.
I see. See, what's the way forward? See, what you write a script?
Oh, or Sunday, or yeah, talent and we don't write scripts.
So you just start.
You know, Obia need to me share. Back at the wood to me share at a ration. Say, so you need an atera. That's all you could have on your sojourning or a normal person. Next, this an atela or you could have or a normal person. Yes, yes, you go on as soon never. Into your intro scripts and a copy and intro choir. You say, ya, pet.
Is it what does the cameraman do? What does it? How many cameramen do you use?
Oh, yes, your phone and you use. Your phone and is
It's one on the phone. Who is filming? Him or one of your people?
At times, you buy your no track.
Oh, it's phone.
Go Elizabeth.
Yes. Phone, no track.
Make it a yarn, yes, it traffic.
Then you edit it and put it on.
Yeah, edit and put part it out to home.
On TikTok.
On TikTok. Yes.
Does it go on Instagram as well?
On Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yes.
So if I'm looking for Dickness, I go to TikTok.
But Dickness Abokuma. How the
Dickness Abokuma.
Baba. I could Google about Dickness.
So do you know how many skit productions you've done so far? 500.
Hey, you're awesome. More than.
Do you do it like every day?
We post three to four videos a day.
3 to 4 skits a day.
Yes, in this way 3 videos are look under 21 a week.
So we are not easy.
I say.
But we are not post 3 and not easy.
Oh, in posting a day. In posting a day. The posting an apa, if you are no the moment time I'm a fan base, no.
We're ready, yeah.
It's an apa demo poster. Then they are going for lunch. They are for lunch. Abba. It's banana not what I'm post was so wakada. And you find me post.
Okay, so there's a marketing planning that goes with it. It's not you don't just throw it on.
No.
You look at the behavior, lifestyle of your audience. And know that by this time when you're meeting one per hour. What about 5 when we're meeting? Then you put it in.
Yes.
Okay, so that on Pedro will be office because of the traffic into Dickness Abokuma. In this America, they want your chroma with my.
Able to me, I shot a
Okay, no, I'm take text messages. One 1 minute. But let me take text message. What's a text message? Don't worry, home. Answer about what are people saying? That do we want to ask them questions?
Okay, I have one message for them. Eddie Kweku says he's watching them live from Morocco tonight. Fancy language is indeed the best. I want to see these guys on an international stage, and I think they should try and incorporate other languages in their skits. Antoinette, you have anything for us?
Says, you guys have been shouting a lot in your skits, so
You should be calming down sometimes. Yeah. Now back to you, Paul.
Oh, don't you have one more? See, my mic is echoing.
Well, it's not really about them, but it's about the book. People are asking if the book will be expensive or cheap enough for them to afford.
Oh, they're asking whether the book will be expensive or cheap. Ah, okay. Okay. It will be reasonable. There will be a free account for students. Some students can get it for free. Okay. So Dickens, are you ready for us? Okay. So let's hear it.
Fojo.
Yeah.
Once I can a man case knows the free Accra Bena.
Yeah, you're a bono.
My name last in the case in the mess. Once I can you.
And I make my lord. I can article 2 Numa. Eba Peter Law, Peter Humanim. If it is it's Rokosi and a 400. Ubemo say was sending you bona, my moja pramono, no, the Johnny Free, Sisi America say, I done it tournament.
Now, Janus McCann, you know, so I was 6 so not so only one or
that's a ba. That be Sabany, man, they be allowed to change to allow you Abasama.
And then when the case, no,
and I'm making kind free article 9 in Muhon. But to say, no, American was them. So about when you're now,
interesting.
America said, "Tia Johnson now don't saw Ketesu." I don't cry and kind.
Woman, I'm not paying for your look and law. And you school, and you school like Yakwa. Keep quiet over there. For job. Mobo Kwedu
Yeah, Bobo
5,000.
Kwedu
Sanction
for
4.
talking back to lawyers, disrespecting lawyers in front of a national
Television.
television.
Section-
Bobo Kwedu section 3,000.
Sanction 3,000.
You are still talking back. This boy you don't respect. Imwaze, awo. Yabonu Kwedu $10,000.
Fojo, in the Supreme Court case, you know. Onsa can
Mame no
Gertrude, onsa can
yeah, and no say no daily guide for the buyer.
Daily guide the first then.
Yeah, na making kind of almost say sisi ano. This omoji asem ne maye. Ye na ebetumi asolve asem no.
Me catch missing no issue no look at those a Supreme Court case. No then China yes so.
And I was watching TV na me share send ya all can say pay yini ba. Na ka me share say ko be mane afa article 9 mu.
Oka brofu man too.
What was that?
Obo wie no. The injunction and the Miss Mammy
In conjunction ananya no. Yey. Conjunction. It's a bit me conjunction.
Brofu can last part an injunction of the sanction and the
Estimation. No say na shin.
It's no yan
Say
shana
me mbɔ ne ko adu wɔ hɔ no so. Say one fa asɛm na
you
bla.
charge.
Maame no.
You mammy no nkofo no.
Yes, bet na hɔ no.
Seat no one na do no. Vacant seat no.
Vacant seat.
You charge on I.
Obi at $10,000.
O was come up what as gracia.
Yes, how?
Yan just gracia payment. S gracia. Spell mama. S J
OPR.
Hey, Dabi.
Cash.
It is spell as in mama.
And I mean SG cash
C Hey.
I know yes silence. Where's
If you don't know school, go on.
Gracia.
cash and no.
Ah, Dabi on
For not to see a chile. Say some me say bibi to aso for not to see no.
not to your full sentence.
Full sentence.
S gracia payment.
Payment.
$10,000.
$10,000.
10,000 for vacant seats.
Vacancy.
I'm the course of that.
Hey.
But Jen court, I Jen court no my na.
Court rice.
Court rise. Yeah,
I didn't sorry, but that's us.
Yeah, so long.
It's this year, Obi Pede, or Dickness, no, a baby man or a party like event. Government is doing an event, inauguration of new president. What do they do?
Oh, sister, I never contact you. Never contact you.
What about number?
Enya ko TikTok I bohu yan. Eko Facebook I bohu yan. Eko Instagram, eko YouTube bohu yan. Yes, just 0550-903136. And also there, nyame ya admo china okana den 5th November to, yes, 5th November to 7th November. About Trade African House. Yes. Exim Bank. Bohu yan wo ho. Yeah, what kind of then African trade? One of what you made in Ghana and exhibition. I say Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, Farmers Day no.
Oh, Farmers Day.
Yeah. You program or Exim Bank, African Trade House. Your mountain yama African products. See one me jinem me check products and there's a lawyer.
Yo, you don't want to say okay, viewers. They'll be coming again. That is Dickness Abokuma on Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure you already know. I'm sure.
A lawyer account.
Lawyer
Dickness Abokuma.
Okay. So just follow them on Instagram, follow them on TikTok. Okay, now we're going to go on with the program. Dr. Saye Duchum is in the studio. He is the Minister for Education, and he's going to talk to us not just about education, but the other day he launched a youth mobilization program for the Vice President. It was launched in the Ashanti region, and we'll talk about that. And he give us the updates on education, the updates on the campaign. Edutum is also running, I believe, for the third time in his constituency, where he ran as unopposed in the primaries in Jache Pramso. We'll be talking to him about that as well. But I was looking at this video, and I wanted to congratulate my man, Miracles Abuaje, again. Why am I congratulating him? Miracles came on the scene about a year and a half ago. I have noticed that since he came on the scene and is doing the communications work for the NPP, he's been able to recreate himself. I've seen 2 or 3 other people who are doing as excellent a job as he does, and that's the important part. It's very, very impressive that he comes into the job and he's able to create. Miracles comes into the job and he's able to create other people who are doing as excellent. When he came into the job, he was Now, Miracles doesn't compete with Sammy Jemfi anymore. He has other people who are competing with Sammy Jemfi whilst he focuses on the general's role. The general role in communication is to deploy people where they should be. That's the general role. But also deploying yourself is part of the role. Sammy Jemfi hardly deploys himself. Miracles about hardly deploys himself these days. He has people who can go and meet Sammy Jemfi on TV, deal with them. Look at this boy talking to Sammy Jemfi, for instance. I thought it was a bit harsh at the end when he talked about his grandmother. But the points that he makes, and this is somebody created by Miracles. Have a look.
For Bawumia to go and sit in the studio to say that in fact your mama has solved those, so I won't clap for him.
Sami talks about the NPP's inability to add even a megawatt of power to our generation capacity. Let him take the national energy sector statistics from Energy Commission, page 5, section 3, table 3 and 1. Installed capacity, that's of 2016 December, 3,794. Dependable capacity, 3,481. 2022, that same Energy Commission report, page 10, table 3.2. Installed capacity, 5,454. Dependable capacity, 4,843. Renewable alone, 2016, we were generating 37.7. 2023, as it stands now, latest report, we are generating 171.8. The difference, it is my grandmother that rose from earth and added it. It is not MPP.
Why, your grandmother is dead?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, my grandmother is dead. He says MPP has not added anything. So I'm saying that the difference, as per the Energy Commission, it was added by my grandmother.
So you are debunking that.
Clearly, it is falsehood. He talks about intellectual dishonesty without being able to prove that what I said was right or wrong. He was talking about irresponsibility. Do you know what is irresponsibility? I'll show you what is irresponsibility. Irresponsibility is when a market woman goes for a loan and they come and sit here, use gibberish, use language, grammar, to tell the market woman that the doomsday she experienced is not relevant because John Mahama solved it. When in October, John Jinapo, sitting on Joy, admits that the doomsday challenge is as a result of money. What is irresponsibility? Irresponsibility is when people have to gather around Bobo and Kendo to learn. And today, you who superintended over that, call me or my government that has ensured that there is stable light without recourse to anything irresponsible. He talks about tips of the iceberg. Ghanaians will not enter the iceberg to know what is at the tip because they have shown us what is in the iceberg. What is in the iceberg is an energy sector that he claims that it is burdened by a debt of $2 billion. When in 2016 December, Muta Wakil of the NDC, ranking member of Energy on Finance, speaks to 2017 and
MPP has come to power, they have added none. For Bawumia to go and sit in the studio to say that in fact your mama has solved those, so I won't clap for him.
Sami talks about the NPP's inability to add even a megawatt of power to our generation capacity. Let him take the national energy sector statistics from Energy Commission, page 5, section 3, table 3 and 1. Installed capacity, that's of 2016 December, 3,794. Dependable capacity, 3,481. 2022, that same Energy Commission report, page 10, table 3.2. Installed capacity, 5,454. Dependable capacity, 4,843. Renewable alone, 2016, we were generating 37.7. 2023, as it stands now, latest report, we are generating 171.8. The difference, it is my grandmother that rose from earth and added it. It is not MPP.
Why, your grandmother is dead?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, my grandmother is dead. He says MPP has not added anything. So I'm saying that the difference, as per the Energy Commission, it was added by my grandmother.
So you are debunking that.
Clearly, it is falsehood. He talks about intellectual dishonesty without being able to prove that what I said was right or wrong. He was talking about irresponsibility. Do you know what is irresponsibility? I'll show you what is irresponsibility. Irresponsibility is when a market woman goes for a loan and they come and sit here, use gibberish, use language, grammar, to tell the market woman that the doomsday she experienced is not relevant because John Mahama solved it. When in October, John Jinapo, sitting on Joy, admits that the doomsday challenge is as a result of money. What is irresponsibility? Irresponsibility is when people have to gather around Bobo and Kendo to learn. And today, you who superintended over that, call me or my government that has ensured that there is stable light without recourse to anything irresponsible. He talks about tips of the iceberg. Ghanaians will not enter the iceberg to know what is at the tip because they have shown us what is in the iceberg. What is in the iceberg is an energy sector that he claims that it is burdened by a debt of $2 billion. When in 2016 December, Muta Wakil of the NDC, ranking member of Energy on Finance, speaks to 2017 and says that they let an energy sector live a debt of $2.5 billion. So what are you telling me? What the reality is now is that the people of this country are the real judges when it comes to the energy situation. It is not the numbers you give here. It is not the English and grammar you give here. The people of this country know who the doomsday father is. Let me take you to the New York Times. New York Times called John Mahama Mr. Power Cut President. BBC calls him Power Cut President. That is John Mahama. He is the god.
What do you mean they call him Power Cut President?
Yeah, that's the name they gave to him.
Who?
New York Times. There's a publication of New York Times on December 26, 2016. They call him the end of Ghana's Power Cut President. That is John Mahama. The legacy of John Dramani Mahama is nothing but consistent growth in attitude of managing an energy sector that was bequeathed to him that didn't have the doomsday that he inherited. This is what BBC calls him. And I really wish we didn't have to get into this. They call him Ghana election. Can we...
Papa. Yo, I want to add into myself one was over what they were actually preaching. Better as a machine, Michelle, and also.
A castle be a nipa.
Moya Crado. Moya Crado. Free education, I am Moderna. Agenda 111, I am Moderna.
Yeah, Pampucho. It is about when you are Pampucho. Nayama, a school fees and so on what Chiamay. Not nothing for a teacher for so a sucker on my allowance. No, yeah, Batan, and that why it will be and Shebin or Shenifa. Yana, number one.
Dr. Bakunyaba. Canano or trying to call you that kind of thing. Who are the doctor saying? I wish you what I was having. You see, it's managing my dog, the master my dog. A brand new the first one. Papa, very no. The first my but
Tisabi and Penisi, Niopa, the Akotokoniana bro. I'm not a swan, young free and infestro. Near Papa Laji Dr. Baumia. The history of Ghana, even now the first president as Muslim, the Southern Nase, young fat Yokomuti and Fan Paparo, near Southern Fame, Shin Nine here, said no can want to be everywhere and young America.
And you're going for the case. You know, we are now in this mappa. That's what near school. No, what? No, because somebody in the mailman myself. One year, take a someone of words. Madame, yeah, twasso.
I'm not free at the case in it. So we are in this in you. So we are Jehovah Witness in you. So to a bada. Free at the case in it to a swati. Yet to a banner from my Yura. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
A part in your Obiadia. A Obiadia. A do say, Cremoni, and your chance. Oh, my Yamano. And so, why say, dear, Nukre Baku, Mumma Yemfa Akumapa, Yentawo Moti, Nayankasa Ampadia, or Mayano, Asoyanim.
We need a leader who is dynamic. We need a leader who is a visionary. We need a leader who is intelligent. We need a leader who is a deep thinker. We need a leader who is an innovator. Into December 7th,
Mr. Mwenyanum, December 7. Okoje ballot paper na. Menche benkum, menche nifa, menche form, shesro hona.
Maybe I will fear no assume Bejua, this way or your papa.
So I'm giving you the video so you play.
Okay.
Now everything I have told you
Let's
will be
take
heard in the video.
Let's take a quick minute. Producer, Pacho, let's see the video he's talking about.
I want to make a say no more will be. You see, I'm going to have no. Said the land in this year. Obeka, Namebua, after on the 11th, on the 7th, and she say, at the mom, because on one of us, I got now. Said the Bay, you know, no blame or where you might take a clay. Which would be not a Philippi. Also, that's
it's a very complicated venture, and we have to be dispassionate about it. We don't have to run propaganda with it, because it's not a challenge that was introduced by an Akufo-Addo government. I am telling you that under the NDC, Mahama Yaruge and co, who were responsible to stop it, they gave up. They said they couldn't, that it was not possible. So it's a canker we need to deal with. But if you have an opposition party, go into the pit to go and tell the same people that we are trying to engage, that ignore them. You see, they are chasing you people from the pit. They don't want you to mind. Ignore them. Vote for us. When we come, we'll let you come and mind. Then when they leave the pit, the same political party will come on radio and say, MPP for Namagalam say Yaba. That is dishonest to the highest level.
Because this is really serious. You're saying you have evidence that they were in the pit talking about this thing?
You see, Kizem, there's something everybody in this country knows about me. I know how much credibility means to every human being. And see, if you hear me speak, especially when I'm mentioning names, be rest assured that I know what I'm talking about. I am telling you that I find it very dishonest when I hear the NDC try to even speak on Galamsey and try to make the point that this government is not able to end the Galamsey menace. And I say that because, I repeat, the NDC are the #1 enablers of the Galamsey menace in this country. Kesem, it's a crime. It's something people are doing under the darkness, or the shadow of darkness at night. Nobody is doing Galamsey in the open. And so, government's effort is to catch these people when they are doing these things undercover and make sure that it becomes a deterrent to others. But if you have the biggest opposition party making it a political strategy, say, they go into these Galamsey areas, go into the pits, and tell the people that, you see the government, they are fighting you people. You see them chasing you people. They brought Vanguard. The Vanguard was meant to end your livelihood. Ignore them. Go and vote for us. Immediately we win power. All of you should come back to the pits and come and work. In fact, we're even going to tell your site owners to give you a break on 7th of December. So all of you can go and vote for John Mahama. Trust me, the very moment you vote for John Mahama and he wins, all of you should come back to the pits and come and work. Galamsey is all we know. We have been doing Galamsey all this while. It's been there long before politics. And it will not take Nana Akufo-Addo and the MPP to end it. This is the NDC then in 2020. Deputy Comms Officer Kweku Boahen. And the NDC lead technical person, Mr. Tony Oben. In fact, in one of the videos, Kweku Boahen said that this man, Tony Oben, he is the same man who is going to be going back to the Minerals Commission to go and head the place if we should come to power. And I'm here with him. So if I tell you that when we win, you are coming back to do your Galamsey, I know what I'm talking about. How do you expect the government to succeed in this fight when you continue like this? And let me tell you what happened. Because of this campaign that the NDC have been waging in the mining areas, we lost almost every constituency that has a mining community, all the constituencies with mining going on. We lost it. And you know why we lost it? Because the opposition party has come to tell them that vote against the government. They are trying to take your livelihood away from you. They are sacking you from the vote. Vote for us. When we come, we'll let you come and mine. Barbara Tinjesi, the former MP for Pistia, she's one person that my heart always bleeds for her. She's one of the best MPs you can think of. Of all the things Barbara Tinjesi did for her people, she lost the election simply because of the president's fight against Galamsey in her area. And it's simply because the opposition party had then given the people an alternative. The alternative was, vote for us so you can continue your Galamsey, or vote for the MPP for them to chase you out of the forest from doing Galamsey. And I'm saying these things because I have video. I will not put your production in any challenge or difficulties if I don't have evidence. And so if you may, I will give you the video and I'll let you play the video for everybody to see exactly what it is that I'm saying.
Okay. So all I do on this show is I say, this is not my platform. The KSM show is the platform for my guests. I have another show called Talk Shop and the Miami platform. I can't feel this. So, no, but on this show, if you're going to say things, before you back it up.
Trust me, I'm a Equiapim bred, thoroughbred Equiapim boy. Respect for people and people's credibility and integrity is key. That's how I was groomed. If you ever hear me mention a name of an individual in anything, believe that I have facts or evidence. Otherwise, I can't even go home. If I live here without proving all the things I've said about the NDC and Galamsey, my mother would actually lash me. Because that's how we are trained. I'm a pure Methodist boy, a Capitan boy. So I'm giving you the video so you play.
Okay.
Now everything.
Welcome back to the show. It's campaign time, isn't it? It's campaign season and everybody's campaigning. Dr. Osei Oduchum is in the studio. He's the Minister for Education and it's upon his shoulders that the MPP campaign seems to be running. Doc, MPP campaign analysts have been pleasantly surprised that Free SHS has come almost back into the center. This will now be about the fourth election that Free SHS has led. 2012, 16, 20. So everyone thought that it was old, but MPP are pleasantly surprised that this is back on the center. How do you feel about this, being the man in the saddle, a man in charge of it?
Good evening to you and viewing audience. Of course, it's refreshing to know that what we know in terms of what education does for people is widely recognized in the country. To some people, the idea that they can go to high school and don't have to pay for it. They can go to school, chop box and trunk, drop it off in the dormitory, go to the dining hall to eat without being asked anything. Have you paid your fees? For some people, the idea that they can go to school and when it's exams time, they are not being sent home. Their parents were used to a system where
they were expecting the child to come home.
Yes, I mean,
they knew that he was going to come.
Come home. You're going to be sent back home to go and collect your fees. And grandparents who saw their children go through that no longer ceases at home. When you go to my village, it's this miracle of the highest level. So I'm not surprised at all if you happen to be somebody who has dealt with, especially in the rural areas, work with families, and now you have a situation where they are not going begging. They are not going to the pastor to beg and say, can you help me? They are not going to the head of family to beg. They are not calling their family members abroad to see if their children can go to school. To us in the villages and towns, this is miracle at the highest level. Something that they never expected could happen in this country is happening. So I'm not surprised that Free Senior High School has become front and center of this great debate towards election December 7th.
Whilst it is free SHS is a big deal, the middle class are still not particularly satisfied. And they were not quite happy with President Akufo-Addo's comments the other day when he said that if you want to pay the school fees, go and pay in a private school. As for in Wesley Girls, the government will pay. They are not too happy. They think that the standards of their grade school is being lowered. The standards of June Shekan, who, by the way, they have to be congratulated for winning the science quiz yesterday after 10 whole years. The standards of June Shekan, in fact, the standards of Adisa Adel, they think the standards of St. Peter's. They say that when I was in St. Peter's, we go to a dining hall, we are 50. Today, they are 6,000.
Standards.
Yeah, so it doesn't reflect with the results. I was going to say that. It doesn't. The results show the standards are improving. But the well-being of the students is being discussed in the media every now and then. And the middle-class old students are altogether not really happy with the process.
I think you have to look at the education system in this country at this time. I'm fortunate because I came into this space with a full knowledge of how quality education systems run, how relevant education systems look like. So I come into this system, I see the gaps, and I'm saying to myself, thank God I'm the Minister for Education, how do we bridge the gaps? How do we make sure that when you talk about the middle class, these are the individuals who are paying for their children to go to kindergarten, for 6 years of primary, 3 years of junior high. You know, we have a 14-year pre-university education system or pre-tertiary education system. For some people, the first time they see something, semblance of something free, is at the high school. They've paid for 11 years of education.
And they said they can pay.
So the point of the matter is this. We happen to be one of the few countries where we don't hold government to account and say, I'm paying taxes. I deserve quality public schools, wherever they are. So the fact that we did not demand, the fact that we did not have visionary thinking in transforming public schools and you paid for 11 years and you are saying I can pay. Yes, you can pay, but we need to create a more equitable society. There are some who can't. But whenever this question comes up with I can pay, I always ask people that, are you going to pay if your child is placed at my famous Jachi Pramso Senior High School? For many people, when they say they can pay, they want to pay for pre-sec education.
That's what they were thinking.
Yes, but does that mean we should reserve 70% or 90% of quality pre-sec education to those who can pay? What kind of country are we creating? We should rather embark on an adventure where you open access, but you also improve quality. So when people talk about standards, Infansipim, 2014, 2024, they are back, right? But Ketasco is also there.
Yes, they were there in the final.
They were there in the final.
It wasn't a story we could have told in 20 years ago.
Yes, 20 years ago.
That's not possible.
No.
For a quiz for Keta and then Infansipim to come to final.
No.
And Keta is not their first time.
No. You see, it will have been
St. James.
You don't even talk about it. St. James now arguably the top performing school in this country.
Absolutely.
Of course, I know Presec is not going to agree with it. But you look at what is going on, emergence of new schools.
But that's what the policy seems to have done. I was discussing with my producer the other day when we were looking at the results. And new schools are picking up. And I've been looking at the data of the political parties for free SHS. There's a lady who did a video and said that when free SHS came, she believed it. But she didn't think that it included St. Louis and Opokuwari and Prempeh College. And apparently that was what many people were thinking. They thought free SHS is for low-level schools. They didn't think Achimota 2 is free SHS because they found themselves incapable of reaching Achimota by any standards.
Oh, yes.
So they didn't really believe that I can be placed in Achimota. So she said that when one of the children came, when I was placed in Achimota, they thought it was a lie.
Yeah.
Say, now, you, this village boy, you think that you've been placed. It's not true. Go back and go and check. With this, your aggregate 21, who will take you in Achimota?
And they come and they do so well.
I've heard that. And so it was explained to them that, yes, you got aggregate 21, but there's a system that is picking underprivileged people and putting them in Achimota. And you have to thank God that he was picked. And they were confused. They didn't know anybody. They just been picked into Achimota.
Quite a few of such stories.
And I'm sure that the pressure on you, I'm sure it's still there, on placement is going down, because parents are also telling me that there's a school called Manfi Wesley
Methodist
Girls.
Yeah, Manfi Methodist Girls.
Now they call it Manfi Wesley Girls.
Of course, because
apparently they are doing super, and they say you took a headmistress from somewhere.
Wesley Girls, and she went there.
That's why they are doing so well.
Ahantaman Girls got a Wesley Girls assistant principal. Now it's top tier school. So what we have seen is that it's about leadership. So the new schools that we are opening, we have mentors being given to them. For example, Bosomtwe Girls in my constituency is being mentored by Mrs. Jokoto, former assistant headmistress of Wesley Girls. In 5 years' time.
So in your view, this whole differences in school was about leadership?
Leadership is key.
I think you are right, because historically, all those schools have names. When you ask Wesley Girls people, they will say Mrs. Achampo. You ask Presec, they will say Mr. Piedu. You ask Accra Academy, they will say Konoa. And names of headmasters in Achimota or Mr. Siedu for many, many, many years.
They were there for a long time.
So it was
they
more leadership driven than systems.
Leadership is key, and they build the systems. So now what we've done is this. We can reduce the stress on the high-performing schools by affiliating them with new schools. That is why we took our assistant headmaster from Presec and sent him to Abomosu, and he's running Abomosu so well. And come to think of it, Abomosu has more science labs than Presec. Wow. So if you have a leader from Presec who understands the ecosystem that brings about high-performing school, and it's in a school where they even have better equipment and tools, then you're going to see a situation where that school is merging, and then it's becoming one of the top performing schools. Now you go in there and students were, I want to go to a STEM school. So you begin to see that we are really lifting the bottom. There are some
it looks like that. It looks like the policy has lifted
schools,
a lot of low performing schools.
And now the new courses being offered in high school, aviation and aerospace as a high school course, engineering is now being offered. Students
have you started?
Oh yes.
So those going to SS1,
they're choosing.
They will be doing aviation.
Aviation depends upon the school that you go to.
Is it an elective?
Actually, you see, it's a 3-year course. It's an elective, but the good news is that it complements the science courses. So you still do your biology, chemistry, but you are doing aviation. Because now, what is happening to us is that in those doing science, and now they do STEM, you don't need to do integrated science. Because
I've been hearing that.
Biology, chemistry, and physics, why do you go to a low-level science?
Why were we? I even understand that those doing extended maths don't do the regular maths anymore.
You see,
we were doing O-level, as science students, you do O-level maths and you do add maths. You do both.
They still do it this year because the university said they want to adjust. They want to adjust to the system.
So they haven't fully stopped yet?
No, they haven't fully stopped. But the whole idea for the sciences was that biology, chemistry, and physics, advanced level science. And then you go and do integrated science, which is a low-level science. So waste of time. So now they have a space, a pathway, where
to add some of those things like aviation and all that. Will they be examined in aviation?
Oh yes, biomedical sciences, engineering. These are all courses that have been done in high school. And manufacturing.
So what kind of engineering will you be teaching? General engineering? Because you have several.
Yeah, they have general engineering. And this course was created with university professors in engineering. They met with NACA and then they put the courses together. So what is happening in our education space is that we are really making teaching and learning relevant to the 21st century needs of Ghana. Coding and robotics are being offered now. So if you look at the courses that we're doing, it's very different from the courses that were being offered in this country for many years. But you see,
so the policy is raising schools and merging the standards. But somebody asked me when I told the person this, that does it mean that you are raising Ahantaman Girls and bringing down Wesley Girls so they meet in the middle?
Nope.
Is Wesley Girls still going up?
Wesley Girls got 6 science labs from the government. The president went to commission it. But Ahantaman also has 6 science labs.
Which is a story that could not have been 30 years ago.
Yes.
Because it's the old students who were providing, not government.
Not government. In fact, to the Wesley Girls, the credit of the old girl, they also rehabilitated their old science lab. But the government went in and built 6 science labs at a go. You go to Kumasi American School, 6 science labs at a go. Presec, we gave you 3. A number of schools across the country, we are building new science labs. But we're also building engineering labs.
What's an engineering lab?
So let's go to STEM labs. If you go to Accra, Accra High School, they have a beautiful STEM lab, fully equipped with even 3D printers. I was expecting that they can show it here.
Yeah, they'll look for it and put it down there.
So if you look at what is happening there, you enter the STEM center and you can do coding, you can do robotics. So the high school students can offer course in robotics, and then the neighborhood children also come there to practice their hands-on coding.
Those who may not be students of the school?
No, because we're trying to create a pipeline. So junior high schools, primary schools around Accra High come there as scheduled.
Oh, they're allowed?
Yes, they are allowed to come in, and they are able to also do coding at their level.
So Accra High SSS, so Morning Star JSS can have their JSS 3 students go to the lab to look at it?
Yes, they can go there. So, but we are not also just restricting this to the junior junior high schools affiliated or close to high schools. We're also building model STEM junior high schools.
Oh, junior high. You're bringing STEM to junior high?
Yes. So the
can you identify talents at that age, 12, 13?
That brings me to gifted and talented education. Talent can be identified at an early age. So at the end of the day, if you look at Jabin, STEM high school, junior high school, it's a model junior high school that has everything that you can find in a high school. They have biology, chemistry, physics lab, and then a STEM lab.
And they're junior high school?
Junior high school. So you see, you have to lift up the middle.
When you get the photographs, then you start putting them on there. Please go on.
You see, the thing is this. The bill at Parliament about free secondary education, one of the essential aspects of that is the upgrading of junior high schools. Because you see, the interesting thing for this country is that we used to have 7 years of secondary, ONA level.
Yes.
Then somehow we jettisoned 4 years out of it. We took away 4 years.
No, we took 1 year.
No, 4.
Is it not 7 to 6?
No.
How?
7 to 3. How? Because the Pre-Tertiary Education Act says identify education in Ghana as 2 years of kindergarten, 6 years of primary, 3 years of junior high, and it's all basic. Secondary.
Oh, junior high is added to basic?
Yes. Has always been.
When the old system, the junior high was part of the
secondary.
Okay. Yeah.
So it has always been. So that is the reason why junior high school buildings can be dilapidated and nobody cares. Because it's not seen as part of secondary. So the free secondary education bill is looking at upgrading junior high schools so that it will be part of secondary, effectively giving us 6 years of secondary education.
Wow.
So this is Accra High. And when you go there, you have the STEM lab there. You have
this Accra High on the screen now.
Yes. So you see the
robotics?
And then high school students are working, but junior high school students also go there. Primary school students also go there. And it's fascinating to see us creating an ecosystem. In fact, we are now going to launch, tomorrow we are launching BSTEM, Basic STEM Program. And
that's for JSS?
Yeah, GSS. And it's going to be very fascinating what happens at that level. But if you look at the facilities that are coming out for junior high schools, I've always said that public schools have been seen as, can be defined as rectangular shaped buildings painted brown and yellow.
Brown and yellow, yes.
Where the students wear brown and yellow uniforms as if to match the color of the school. And this has been the norm. And we call them junior high schools. But the law is saying that they are part of basic, and we've left them.
So the amendments you have in Parliament is going to call them secondary?
It will make junior high school, which is high school, recognized legally as high school, and therefore we will be required to equip them with the necessary infrastructure, necessary facilities. So let's take a look at how public schools look like for the most part across the length and breadth of this country.
Please, let's have it. Let's see it.
It's a rectangular shaped building painted brown and yellow. And where the students, as I always say, wear brown and yellow uniform. This is what you see.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, across the country. This is it.
So you are changing this?
So a number of schools have been changed already. So let's move on to the new infrastructure for junior high schools.
Now, this new infrastructure you are presenting is going to be the standard for all junior high schools.
Junior high schools. There are 2 of them.
Oh, it's going to come soon. Yes, this one.
Yeah. This is your new junior high school.
Every junior high school is going to look like this.
Towns with about 7 junior high schools, you build one of these, you move all the junior high schools there, and they have libraries.
Yes, the other policy. So you're not going to have junior high schools littered in a community.
No.
You're going to build one proper one.
One proper one that has everything that the high school is supposed to have.
You're going to name it after the town. Labadi Junior High School, Teshi Junior High School.
Of course. It can
Jachi
easily be named.
Junior High School.
It can easily be named. It can be named after Ghanaian schools, can be named after a chief, can be named after anybody. But so this...
can we look at that video again, the new...
It's showing here, right? It's not showing.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So this is the one at Jabin. Otio Cerebral
High School.
Model Junior High School.
Junior High School.
Yeah, and it's a STEM high school, and it has biology, chemistry, and physics lab. It also has a STEM lab to match it. But in addition to that, the good news is that it is getting everything that a high school has.
I see.
And instead of 7
but that means laboratories.
Schools, yes.
Football field.
Everything. Instead of 7 junior high schools, now you have 1 junior high school that has everything. The library is there.
Can it accommodate all the people who are in the 7? Do you plan?
Yes. Yeah. This one will accommodate all of them. But you go to some towns and it's just 3 of them. When you have just 3 junior high schools, there's another model that we do. It's a 2-story. And we built quite a number of them across the country. And when it's fitted with all the labs that you can find in a high school, you've upgraded junior high schools to a level of high schools, effectively giving you quality 6-year secondary education in practice and subsequently in law. You see, invariably, we enact the law and we are trying to catch up to see if we can go by what the law says we should do. But in this case, we've done the facilities, we provided the tools. Then when the law comes into effect, then you are really implementing the law the way it should be implemented. So if you look at what is going on, we're upgrading junior high schools. We also have taken a serious look at dilapidated school buildings. The closest school to the Ministry of Education is St. Barnabas at Osu. Had a visit to the school 8 months ago. I left there fully determined that something should be changed. And that's something that should be changed is what we have done.
Have the St. Barnabas there on there, please. Can you come and do what you have to do? Let's see it. Yeah, that's it. Is that the old one?
Yeah. I visited them. I had a nice time with the children. They were in a classroom without ceiling. When it's raining.
So this is the first time you visited them?
Yeah, this is the first time I visited them. And you see, it's an Anglican school, they grew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is Accra. Look at the outside of the building, and it's fascinating to see within and without the level of dilapidation that you could witness there. And the interesting thing is this is Accra. And
this is the St. Barnabas?
St. Barnabas. This is Osu.
In this old form?
Old form, and you can look at, you see.
Oh, wow, this is terrible.
It's terrible. 8 months ago, this was St. Barnabas. And I left there thinking, can we truly educate?
Why did you go there?
I do surprise visits.
So you were visiting the nearest school to the ministry?
And I saw it and said, no, let me go and see this school. And you take a look at this and you're asking yourself, can we truly educate 21st century children in 19th century buildings and expect 21st century outcomes? No, we can't compete in the 21st century if we think this is okay for children to be in.
So what did you pull the building down?
No, we brought in engineers. There was a need for retrofitting. They did it. And today we have a new St. Barnabas. We've sent furniture there. Everything is great. We are opening. In fact, it's going to be fascinating.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Oh, it's the same building?
Yes, but we retrofitted and changed the roof entirely.
Oh, you made fidelity to the blue color.
Oh, yeah. The classroom without ceiling now has ceiling fans. Everything you see here is...
this is impressive.
It's something you can see in Morning Star and any of the private schools. The whole idea
but that's impressive.
Yes.
So the children must be very happy.
Very, very happy. Very, very, very happy.
And their teachers are happy?
Very happy.
Did you ask the teachers to vote for your party?
Evidence-based. So if you look at, we are now moving them. We've changed actually from this.
Please put the next one on. If
the dual desk, and now we are giving them mono desk. So they are going to be
so that
seated.
they are individuals, yeah.
Yes, they are seated like in high school.
Oh, is that how the mono desk looks like these days?
Yes.
Okay.
Junior high school, and they should be seated like high school students.
So they are ready mentally.
Yes, and next week our commission is going to happen. But the good news is that we have a model. When we got the $1 million per constituency,
yes,
at Bosomchi we decided that we'll do a model junior high school.
Okay.
So we did it there, and we are replicating it across the country now.
Oh, I see.
So if you look at what is happening, the junior high schools at Bosomchi, you can really see that these are just like any school you can.
Junior high school at Bosomchi, let's see that one.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay, yeah.
You see how they are seated, monodex.
This is Bosomchi in Ashanti region.
In Ashanti region.
Oh, they wear bow tie to school, the girls?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very decent.
And the parents love it.
I can imagine.
They rather wear this than wear the brown and yellow.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so if they are going to buy the
this
uniform,
is brighter, it makes you think.
Buy the uniform, they will buy this than buy the brown and yellow. Parents are excited here. And it's a public school. And it's a junior high school that has science labs.
Wow.
Science labs. Junior high school for library. And everything you see here, you're going to see that it's an environment that is very different.
This is a lab?
Yeah, this was built by the Middle Belt as part of the $1 million per constituency project. And this is junior high school science labs. So what we are doing as a nation is begin to look at how do you provide quality learning environment. Because you see, 3 things that you need to do in education is that you provide access, provide the floodgates of education for all, but don't stop there. Enhance the quality. And after quality, also make sure that the education you are providing is relevant to the 21st century needs of your country. If you put the 3 together, then education plays its rightful role as the most important socioeconomic transformation agent. If you just do access and don't look at quality and don't look at relevance, the transformation doesn't happen. So if you look at the Asian targets, all those countries that were referenced, they did not just give access and then forget about quality. You have to do the 3. Once you do the 3, then you are putting, this is a building built by the Arab Development Bank. By the way, the building that we are seeing here is not from GetFund. So
this from where?
Arab Development Bank.
Arab Development Bank?
Yeah, Badia. They had a project.
Well, so which school is this?
This is a junior high school. This is the one at Gachi.
Oh, I see.
Then you see the one at Jabe. We have one coming at Chamba in the northern region. We have one coming up at Chebi. It's all over the country.
I see.
But there are 2 variations of it. We had a big one that is about 7 schools. Then you have another variation that is a 2-story. And this is also all across the country in a number of places. Yeah.
This one?
Yes. This is a 2-story building. And this is for towns with 2 junior high schools or 3 junior high schools. They can all move into this and leave the dilapidated old buildings and really move into a place where the community feels like, wow, this is different. So all across the country, November, middle of November, we are commissioning 80 new schools. 80 new schools.
In November, this November?
Mid-November, yes.
80 schools?
80 schools. You're going to be excited about...
You mean government has delivered 80 schools?
Oh, yes. You're going to be excited about Jetokwe.
Let's see it.
Jetokwe in the Volta region, Southton. Dilapidated building. Now they are moving into a new school. Furniture is going there. By tomorrow, there will be furniture there. The school is going to be commissioned. You go to Azan in Yelokrobo. Dilapidated school building. Now they have new buildings. All across the country, and some of them interesting, the media brought attention to it. We go in and we have a new building. So you look at this one. This is Jetokwe.
Oh, this is how the school was? On thatched leaves.
Yep. Southton.
This is the school. So this is like a school on a tree.
Yeah. Because the tree is there, so when the windstorm comes, it's going to be a school under tree soon. Now this has changed. The community is ecstatic. They can't believe.
Let's see the new one. Do you have the new one? Yeah. This. Okay. Is that it?
Yes.
This is the new one.
Yes.
This one.
Yes.
Hey, and they are moving in when?
This middle of next. This.
It's one of the 80.
Then you go to Azar. By the roadside stood what can be a 17th century school. And we've resigned ourselves to our fate that is good enough for Ghana. And
this one?
This one. Azan,
where is
Yellow
it?
Crow.
Yellow Crow?
Yellow Crow.
This is the school?
Yes, by the roadside. And the community is a
And it's a GES school?
Of course, it's a government school.
Oh.
I
Government builds this or an individual
the
built it?
community builds, the government absorb and call it a government school, and then we don't go and look at them again.
So when we call them a government school, what do we give them? Why are they a government school? What kind of support are they getting? Is that a new one?
Yes, this is a new one.
Oh, wow. It looks quite simple, but the improvement is significant.
Significant. Go to
it means that it's just it's not money that was the issue. It is just a responsibility matter. It wasn't money.
And it's a vision matter.
It's a vision and
it's a
responsibility. It's not money.
You have to have a vision and say to yourself, things have to change. And once you are determined that things have to change, then you approach organization. There may be a project. Say,
so at least when it's raining, they can remain in the classroom.
Of course, they can remain in the classroom.
They can have a chat.
Yeah, as a partner here, it's a fascinating case.
And they can meet in the assembly in the middle.
Yes. You go to as a partner here, and the building that was there, the students are in, and you cringe for somebody who you look at it and say, no, it can be better than this.
This is Asempana here?
Asempana here, yeah.
Wow.
I want teachers to wake up and can't wait to go to their schools. Because
they must be happy to go there.
Yes. And the school has to be the most beautiful building in the village.
Let's move on to the next segment, Doc. People are texting, sending me texts. They're asking me, ask Dr. Duchum, how are we converting all this into votes in December 7th?
You see, the thing is this. If you look at this.
This is Asempana.
Yeah. Change has come. And change must continue. It's a simple case that we're making to Ghanaians. And the case is this. Look at this school.
The new Asempana.
What it used to be.
Yeah, we've seen what it used to be. They should give us the
new Asempana.
Yeah, as quickly as they can. Yeah.
And you know that there's this idea that Ghana,
that's it?
Yes. This is the new Asempana. And then people talk about don't have a maintenance culture. And no country has maintenance culture, but they have a maintenance budget. And they have maintenance staff. So you see, this school comes at WC and they will have a cleaner there.
Oh, you adding that?
Oh, yes.
And a budget for it?
Oh, yes. Because it really doesn't make sense.
The maintenance is about budget.
Yes.
It's not a culture, it's budget.
No, there's nothing cultural.
It's not culture, it's budget.
Yeah. So these schools are all getting that. But let me take you to East Legon for the middle class.
Okay, let's pick the East Legon one.
You are going to see a school which by all standards matches any public school anywhere in the world. And if you're a middle class and you're spending 30 to 50% of your income.
This is it?
Yes. Of your
I like the first photograph that came. Why is it gone? The orange one. Is it going to come back? It's a video, okay. So this is, they are building it, they are putting it together.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for.
Yeah, this one is already complete. There are two buildings, 2 blocks. This block is done.
This is East Legon?
Oh, yeah, East Legon. That one is done.
Is it a hostel or what's this?
No, it's a school. It's
classrooms?
A public school. Classrooms, laboratories, everything.
But it's not just JSS or primary?
It goes from kindergarten to high school. It's a community school like GIS.
Kindergarten to SSS?
SSS. So you can go with your little siblings and you all be in the same school. So of course, for the senior high school, day school. So this part is done. I actually visited this with the flag bearer. We had a nice time looking at what is inside.
Are you commissioning this soon?
Oh yes, this is one of the schools that.
This was the hall.
Yeah, we have 2 dining halls. One for the little ones and the.
Oh, it's a day school dining halls.
Yes. And this auditorium for the school.
This is that's the vice president.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Was it an unannounced visit? It looked like there was no media. I just went to show it to him around.
Yeah, I went to show it to him. It was very short notice, so we didn't have a lot of media there. But he was super excited to stand in the assembly hall and of a public school.
So this is going to be a public school.
This is a public school.
This facility is better than any.
Yeah, you don't pay anything to get here.
I can't. Nobody is going to believe that you don't pay anything to get there.
I love how the reception area looks like. I want parents.
The school has a reception.
Oh yes. I want parents to walk in there, drop off their children, turn
back
and say to themselves, "This is a new Ghana."
Oh, this is truly a new Ghana.
A new
Accra
Ghana.
STEM Academy.
Yes, where I don't have to pay tuition, I'm getting quality education.
This is the school.
Yes.
Public school owned by government.
Yes.
It's free to attend.
Free to attend.
In Akufo-Addo's Ghana. I don't believe you, Dr. Edushima. I don't believe you.
The website will be up.
This is serious.
Yeah, we're getting a website up. They gave me up to Monday for parents to apply. and you go there, you are keeping your money. If you're a medical doctor, you don't have to spend your hard-earned money on the education of your children. And
but this is better than Morning Star. This is better than Bishop Bowers. This is better than many of those schools in terms of the infrastructure.
That should be the
Christ
norm.
the King, Mofrat Road in Kumasi. It's better than
that should be the norm in this country.
How many of these schools do you hope to have if you have time in government for another 8 years?
We need 4,000 junior high schools across the country in different forms, in different sizes.
Okay.
And once you do that, you can totally revamp the junior high school. Then you turn your attention to the primary schools. You see, if you're a medical doctor and this facility has Bolgatanga, and they are transferring you there,
don't worry. You're fine.
Don't worry.
If this is a school that your children are going to go to.
And
what about the teachers?
If
Would they go?
Nurse, of course. If you're a nurse and you are being sent to a village where the public school is good, at minimum, you don't worry about the education of your children.
And your accommodation.
And that should be the norm across the length and breadth of this country. And I tell people.
But that's why Americans go and stay anywhere. You can stay in Arizona, you can stay in New York. It doesn't matter. We are transferred from Washington to wherever. It doesn't matter.
There's a commitment by the government that public school should be free and the quality should be enhanced. So when you are raising your children in America, the last thing you worry about is the cost of education before university.
It's at university that you worry.
Yes. If the schools are not good enough, you move to another community.
That's about it.
That's about it. And end of story. But it's not spending 30 to 50% of your income in paying school fees for 11 years. Then what happens to the middle class? How do you save when you are spending 50% of your income? There's a kindergarten.
In that school?
Public kindergarten, Dominico Avinya. At this point, we're building a number of these kindergartens across the country.
This is pre-class 1?
Yeah.
And this is government owned?
Government.
You're going free?
Free.
Teachers are going to be bathing the children and taking them around?
This Dominico Avinya is a beautiful place. The president went to commission it. You have the smart board and all those things, and more of them are being built across the country.
You guys have done a lot of work.
This
is really transformational.
And this is why I want evidence-based communication, not to come and talk about what is in the pipeline and plans are far advanced. And no.
Or Green Book.
No. It is about, it is done. And if you want me to continue this, President Muhammadu Bawumia will give me a chance to continue this. And that's my message to Ghanaians.
But maybe John Mahama will give you a chance to.
I don't know about that. My president will give me a chance to do more of this. And I get excited when I see this, and sometimes I get emotional because I go to these schools and you look at St. Barnabas and I look at how the place was like. And just a vision supported by a president, urged on by a president. And you see, Nana Danko Kufuor, I call him the motivator in chief. I go to him and the kind of words he will say to me, I come back and I can't wait to go back to work the next day and deliver for Ghanaians. He makes me know that I am truly appreciative for the work you have done. And once I hear those images, words coming from me, I want to do more for Ghana. My brother, it can be done. There's no doubt about it, but we need visionary leadership. We've been at this for a long time, and it's all about doing some small things. And there's no reason why we cannot do more. And this is what we have done in this country, and we're going to do more. Take a look at some senior high schools that have been built. And it's unbelievable when you see that these senior high schools are in Ghana. Beautiful, better equipped than senior high schools in America. Some senior high schools in America. Let me take you to Awaso. It's a fascinating story.
Okay, let's look at Awaso and then we come and talk some more politics on the youth mobilization.
A school with 12 science labs. This is a chemistry lab.
Awaso is where?
Awaso.
Awaso.
Western North.
Western North, okay.
Yes.
Towards the Ivory Coast border.
Yeah, Western North. This is it. Yeah.
So this is a senior high school.
Senior high school. They have, the interesting thing is that they have a fume chamber for chemistry experiment. Something that you see at the universities. A smart board is there. The teacher is happy with a smart board, can touch the screen, and anything that he wants to see is coming. This is a fume chamber in the chemistry lab at Awaso. You go to Abomusu, you're going to see the same equipment there. You go to Diaso, you're going to see it there. You go to Kwasi, you're going to see it there. These are all new high schools that have been built by this government, fully equipped. And when I hear people talk about the NPP have destroyed the education system, I ask myself, which planet do they live on? This is evidence-based communication. This is a high school in Ghana, built by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and there are about 10 of them. And now we are going to open one of the best in Ghana at Weja, here in Accra. And I call it the high school with the most beautiful.
Senior high or junior high?
Senior high.
Let's see the Weja one, and then let's get ready to talk politics. Is it going to come? Okay, somebody sends me a text and says that, good evening, Paul. Charlie, look, this is your MPP people, pa. How can they be doing such phenomenal work in the education sector and they are so mute about it? This is serious transformational leadership. This is more than visionary leadership. Why are they not talking about these phenomenal exploits? MPP should learn to talk. Free senior high school alone is the election winning ticket. That's alone. If they focus on that, they have won this election.
So this Weja.
There's a concern. Where is the Weja? Okay, let's see it.
It's so beautiful. You stand there and you look at the lake.
Oh, that's a Weja lake?
Yes. So this is a high school.
All these buildings is one school?
Yeah, one school.
Boarding?
Boarding.
It's called what?
Weja, this is a Global Studies Academy. They will do international studies.
Senior high.
Senior high.
And it's called Global Studies Academy.
Yeah,
like a specialized thing.
Specialized thing. Because you see, when you talk about Ghana's role in the world, and you talk about Africa Free Trade Area and all those things, one of the things you're going to see is that the high schools are not preparing the future generation of Ghanaians who can take advantage of that.
So you're already teaching them global trade, global facilitation.
Trade will be taught in this school. Geography.
In SS.
SS.
So they'll do history, they'll do economics,
geography, and then they have their STEM infused and then doing coding.
And they are boarding.
And they are boarding.
In Weja.
Weja.
It's attractive.
Yes.
Has it opened?
No, we're opening this year. So
the first admissions are going in this year?
Yeah, this year. The headmaster has been appointed.
But they have a really beautiful view of the lake. The students are going to have a good time.
Yeah, you catch your breath from the classroom and looking at the lake, and it's just beautiful.
The fascinating thing is that then you go in free. It's government.
It's free. It's government.
It's unbelievable.
So the kind of thing that are happening in this country, the kind of transformation that's happening in education, it's never happened before. And we are not leaving the existing schools to say, oh, we are not coming to you. We are building STEM labs. Go to Fijai. They have a STEM center built there. In Fansipim, we're getting a STEM center. Jine is getting a STEM center. So they too can do STEM. And then they get the science labs to go with it. So, my brother, the point of the matter is that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has done something. I call him he did that. We've done Manifesto Plus. We didn't promise Ghanaians that we're going to do STEM and transform the country through STEM. We're going to do new high school courses, but we've done it because it's the right thing to do. We didn't promise Ghanaians that, give us a chance and aviation and aerospace will be taught in our schools. It has happened. Go to Efia Kubiampem Girls. It's so fascinating when you go to the school and see the children flying drones. In fact, they are probably the only high school in the world for tarmac for flying drones.
Oh, wow.
It's fascinating. What the girls are doing, and now there are a number of schools, about 13 of them are going to do aviation courses in high school. So you see the drone here, we've shown this around the world. And
Lukman is a former president of NUCS. Is writing to us. It says that, hello, Paul, many of these schools are far better equipped than the university I attended in Germany for my master's degree. This is the new dawn we have always yearned for. Indeed, it's development in freedom.
So you see there.
Oh, that's a drone runway.
It's taking off. That's a runway.
Which school is this?
Efia Kubiampem Girls.
Girls' school?
Yeah, girls' school.
And they are building drones?
Yes. And
the girls?
Oh, yes, and flying them. In fact, Zipline saw this and they came to meet with me to see how they can support our high schools to do more. 13 schools are now going to be doing it this year. And it's fascinating when you see the kind of thing they can do. The one aspect of this is that the girls, after they did the drone, they said, no, why can't we do a remote control boat and put it on the Atlantic Ocean and we'll control it remotely and it will be on the ocean. They went to the Western Naval Command, they built a prototype, the Navy checked it, and it lacked stability. They went back and they did it. You see, they are doing woodwork.
These are girls?
Yeah.
Cutting the thing like that?
Yes, and they are doing woodwork. See, STEM.
So these girls are what?
TVET,
15, 16, 17.
16. And they do woodwork. So TVET and STEM is coming together.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, for transformation.
We are becoming like Germany.
Yes, so they do the woodwork so that they can use that design, the remote controlled boats. After they finished that, they went to Takoradi, and the Navy helped them to deploy it on the Atlantic Ocean.
That's it.
Yeah, that is it. The Ghana flag is on, and in the next few minutes, you're going to see this boat on the ocean, and it will be going.
And it's built by girls.
The girls at
from Efiakobi.
Efiakobi Amfim girls.
And where is the school? Which region?
Ashanti region. It used to be called Achumamine many years ago. Built by
I know that Achumamine name, yeah.
Yeah, so you see, and they are remotely controlling it. And in fact, they are fitting this thing with cameras in such a way that it can take images of things under the ocean, so it can come onto your iPad.
These are girls who have not yet had tertiary education.
No.
This is amazing.
So the kind of things that are happening, it's unbelievable. And then I tell people that, do we have to press the reset button on this? Do we have to truly stop this? So that we are pressing a reset button and everything is going to be done again because something wrong is taking place in this country? You can't go back. We need to go forward. And you look at this and you say to yourself, everything is possible in Ghana. You see,
somebody says that, Senior, please, can MPP, our beloved party, employ some of us to communicate free on some of these projects? Educhum has shocked everybody this evening, and all of us are sending text to each other. Where was this? Where was that? He said, in fact, my wife is amazed, and she's now changed her mind to vote for the MPP, just watching you for the last 10 minutes.
I have one.
No, there's a concern coming from all the text messages. Now, why has the story not been told?
They should come and see me. Look, we have to. Look at this. This is a high school. And it's the structure is unbelievable. All across the country, you are seeing this. And now we are not limited to high schools.
Which area is this? Which school is this?
I think this one is the Sewell School.
Is that junior high or senior high?
This is senior high. And the fascinating thing is that we are not leaving the whole progress to senior high schools. We're also lifting junior high schools up. We are lifting primary schools up. I took a visit to Asim Boys, a surprise visit, and I went to Asim Boys. Interestingly, the school had been abandoned. In that school, I had only 5 students in a class. The middle class have left the public school. And today, next to that old building, we have a new school coming up, which is going to be a school for gifted and talented education. GATE has come to Ghana. The president, about 2 months ago, Cabinet approved gifted and talented education.
What's that?
It is identifying children who are so talented, but somehow can't find their colleagues and can't sit together with them to be motivated to innovate and do some great things. So gifted and talented education has been done in America and other countries for years.
So this is where some of the borrowing has gone to.
Definitely.
We've got a campaign talks about borrowing. Okay, Francis Asiam, MPP stalwart, formerly for the NDC, now says that the highest greeting and appellation to the visionary, can-do spirited, indefatigable, versatile, dedicated, workaholic, affable Minister for Education, Osei Oduchum. In fact, Ghana is moving forward. This current education and digitalization momentum and strategy push will surely turn the corner for Ghana. Today, dear, I should read her text because Trump is winning. Dr. Educhum doesn't like to hear that. He's a Democrat. Trump is winning hands down with less than 275 to 316 electoral college votes plus popular votes. Good luck to Donald Trump, 45th and 47th POTUS. Anyway, okay, Francis, a text message, duly read. Okay, somebody says, I'm addicted to Good Evening Ghana. I wish I had a canned version. I'm so proud of what you are doing. This man is just simply great. Osei Oduchum, when are you running for president?
No trouble. No, I don't want any trouble.
So, Carlos Ahinkra, Member of Parliament, he says that this is Carlos. We are all fascinated. The MP's platform is sharing your interview. So why will Ghanaians see this and vote to change? Change for what? Educhum, God bless you. That's from Carlos Ahinkra. Okay, so everyone seems to be sharing the same view that why has Educhum not talked about this so long, that long, since long? Because he says he's now launching the schools. Okay, many people want me to ask you about your role in the campaign. Yes, they know that there is education, but they say you were responsible for bombastic blast of Dr. Friye on your platform over Galamsey. You were head of launching something in Kumasi, youth mobilization.
Yes.
How is that going? Is
Is
that another role you have in the campaign?
It's not actually just the youth. We are reaching out to different groups of people and talking about education and getting people to understand. You see, most of the time, if you're going to meet with medical doctors, you get another medical doctor to go and talk to them about their profession as it relates to your manifesto. But medical doctors have families to raise. And I think they should be interested in public education and how providing quality education for them will enable them to take care of their children and also be able to serve the country better. So if you look at what happened in Kumasi, on Monday, we met with clergy. 3,000 of them drawn from the entire region.
Is that the clergy?
The clergy. And they came in their numbers. To
Clergy based in Kumasi?
Accra, the whole Ashanti region.
3,000 of them?
3,000 of them.
What were you telling them?
We were telling them the story of education transformation in Ghana. So about 2 to 3 hours, showing them the images, explaining to them what is going on, why we are interested in gifted and talented education, why we are upgrading our junior high schools, and why community village schools should be transformed. So we had a very nice time with the clergy. Reverend Christy Boateng mobilized for us. We came in and spent a very good time with them. When we finished, people were not leaving.
Wow.
The Reverend was telling me it was just like a revival. They were touched. And they were saying to themselves, this is a new Ghana. This is the Ghana we have been dreaming of for many years when we talk about we need to have science to humanities ratio of 60 to 40. But we did not look at the pipeline for producing the 60 to 40 humanities at the universities. How do you get 60% science at the universities when the high school, the junior high school, the primary school is not promoting science and not promoting STEM? In fact, I did a presentation at Columbia University in the United States about a month ago. They were amazed.
In New York?
They were shocked. In the U.S.
Columbia in New York?
Columbia in New York. They were shocked. In fact, they gave Ghana a standing ovation at the end. Because they said to me, Ghana has found the blueprint for African education transformation. We have good children in Africa. Everywhere you go, whether it's Ghana, Nigeria, you enter a classroom, students will just stand up, and if you don't tell them to sit, they won't sit. And yet, you go to conferences upon conferences around the world, and they talk about African education crisis. And I don't seem to get it. That if there was going to be education crisis, it shouldn't be in Africa. Our children are so good. If we are not producing the best, and if they are not the best in the world, it's our fault. Because they can be better and they can be the best in the world. But you see, you can't be the best in the world when your education system is just promoting memorization.
Yes.
I had a fascinating meeting with the West African Examination Council about 4 months ago, before the BEC.
Yeah.
Because you know we have a new curriculum at the junior high school. So they were going to write the first exams.
Okay, so as I'm just taking recently, it's on the new curriculum, which has history.
Yes. So I asked them to come and see me in the office so that they can show me the table of specification. You see, contrary to what most people think, we are supposed to tell WAEC how we want them to assess the children.
Okay.
Why should not be dictating to us?
Based on our needs and based on what we want the children to know.
To know.
Yeah.
So if you want critical thinkers in Ghana, how do you allow WAEC to do an examination system that has over 50% at the lowest level of learning, which is remembering?
Memorization.
We have 6 levels of learning. Remembering is the first and the lowest. If you want critical thinkers, you run away from memorization. There's something called the New Bloom's taxonomy. So if you look here, remember is the lowest.
The New Bloom's taxonomy.
This is how teachers are trained to write their lessons so that children become critical thinkers. You see, many years ago in Ghana, you go to the sixth form and you did logic and reasoning.
Yes, yes.
As a course, because they wanted you to think.
Yes.
Then we took it away. But in America, they did not do it as a separate course, but every subject is supposed to have critical thinking.
As part of it.
As part of it. Then, so we borrowed the American system, took away the logic and reasoning, no O-level and A-level, but we did not ensure that we have critical thinking embedded in the coursework in our exams. So you see, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create is the highest level of learning. And that's why I believe visual artists are the best and brighter students we have.
So it's remember.
Yes.
That's basic.
The basic.
Understand, next level.
Yes, apply.
Those of us who couldn't remember were using understanding. So if you are not there, you are in trouble.
Apply.
Apply.
Then you are moving up.
Apply, you are moving up. That's complicated.
Analyze, evaluate, and create.
That's where the issue is. At the university level, it should all be create, especially for arts students.
So what is happening? They came and met with me. They showed me the table of certifications for a certain course. 20 out of the 40 questions were on remember.
Wow.
Another 10 was an understand. Another 10, the last one was an apply. Analyze, evaluate, create was not there.
So they didn't have any questions that is testing the students' capacity to analyze, and to evaluate, and to create.
So I told them, and I made a comment that I'm sorry, but the tail is wagging the dog here. You are determining the leaders of this country in the future. We are determining the kind of children we are raising in Ghana, and no. So they went back and they came back with another table of certification. At least 40% of the questions were on 4, 5, and 6. So people will tell you the exams was difficult. But this
was 4, 5, and 6 is what? Apply, analyze, create, evaluate, and create.
Yeah, analyze, evaluate, and create was out. And it was added.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, it's not just quality infrastructure and not just the fact that the children are going to school, but who they become is first and foremost the most critical thing we need to do. And we can't have an examination regime that focuses on remember, understand. Because people think that you design your curriculum, you do instruction, and then you assess. So they say, oh, the test comes last. But it's not the case. Teachers, if we did not change these questions, were not, the next year, they were not going to teach at the highest level possible. They were going to sanitize the curriculum.
I don't know whether you've seen this report, but when you come on TV, people send me, Business Insider Africa, top 10 African countries with the highest quality of education. Ghana is second, 84.5%. Tunisia is first, 93.1%. Have you seen that report?
I haven't seen this.
It's just coming in now.
I'm not surprised, and we'll get to
it's
one.
It's 31st October.
We'll get to one.
So Ghana is now second. Namibia is third. Mauritius 4th. Togo 5. Cape Verde, Morocco, South Africa. But Ghana is second on 84.5. That's impressive.
We will get there, and we'll be the best. Now, TVET transformation is outstanding. You go to Brewer on Cape Coast Road, and the town will tell you the place has changed because we revamped the Brewer school, MVTI, and now it's a technical institute, equipment, everything is there. This Enyinam in the eastern region, and they have this new TVET school. Everything that you want to see in a TVET school anywhere in the world is here at Enyinam. 10 key projects built by Italians, paid for by government, with everything that you need to have.
Wow.
A number of TVET schools, even in East Legon, there's a TVET school right behind the Accra STEM Academy. It's Accra Applied Technology Institute, a new TVET school with everything that you want to see.
The next level of conversation people wanted me to ask you, I know that I have time, we don't have time for that today, was to say that all these people that you are training, where are you easing them into?
You see, when the Frank Berra talked about creating 1 million IT jobs, right? Some people don't understand. But if you have students doing coding at different levels, these are students that you can easily prepare, not just to work in Ghana, but stay in Ghana and work for companies abroad. I had a great meeting with Cisco, the idea of networking. Huawei is challenging them a bit, and they are the network.
They are the giants of networking.
The giants of networking. And they train the next generation. Now they want to come to Ghana.
Oh, I see. Cisco set up in Ghana to train.
To train. And we'll start from the high schools and technical schools, train Cisco certified network engineers at the lower level. By the time they finish high school, they are working. They can work remotely for a number of companies. That's what Indians are doing. So these days, it's not about, the industry is not growing that fast, therefore don't speed up. It depends upon the courses that you are offering in high school and beyond. You see, we've created a high school system where we think everything is about preparation for college. And that we are not giving them the skills that will enable them to work. You rarely see a high school student walking into your office.
It used to be
CV
with the old system. They go to banks.
Yes.
They go to police, the military.
And they have a skill.
Yeah.
They write well. And that is why today, as I speak with you, we've introduced an intervention course that if you come to a high school and you can't write well, you're going to take 2 English classes the first year. One is going to teach you how to write and write well before you move on to the second year and the third year. So the bottom line is this. We have identified gaps in our education system. We're saying to ourselves, if we're going to create a more robust economy, lay a strong foundation so that the economy doesn't just get shocked and before you know you are begging the IMF, then we have to take a look at the education system and look at how do you create an education system that brings about innovation. That's why I'm super excited to see UMass and Pentecost University offering engineering coursework to students who did not do science but did visual arts, for example.
Oh, they've started?
Oh, yes, they've started. They went to level 300. And UMass Vice Chancellor will tell you that they are doing better than those who did science.
I see.
You see, a visual artist can look at you and draw you. Engineering came from art. And then when you do engineering drawing. But the person who can draw is not being supported and helped to become an engineer. So who are engineers? When those who can innovate and look at you, draw you, cannot design bridges
and it's those
for
who
us.
can memorize and calculate equations.
So
then you're going to have an engineering that doesn't innovate. And that's the story of Ghana. We've been saying it all the time, that our engineers go to, they can't build anything. They only build traffic lights. After 20 years of shouting, they started building traffic lights.
So now
because we are not bringing in the creatives.
They are not in. So we are not saying lower the standard, but what we are saying is simple. They come in, they didn't do physics and chemistry, which is important for engineering. You are giving them 1 year intensive physics, chemistry, and math. So you see, if you look at it, if they did science, biology, chemistry, and physics in 3 years, together with 4 other courses. So if they come and do only science by itself for 1 year, it is just as those who did the science for 3 years in addition to other courses. Because when they are doing the pre-engineering, they are not doing any other subject. They've already passed that. So I tell the story of Kojo Mensah, who had a dream and God was talking to him and God said, Kojo, you're going to be the best engineer in the world. And he said, God, it can't be me. I'm growing up in Ghana. I'm doing visual arts. Nobody will allow me to become an engineer. So the bottom line is that don't lower your standards. But if somebody has a fierce determination that want to do something, these are 14 and 15-year-olds who made a decision that they wanted to do home economics. They wanted to do arts. They wanted to do this. And you are saying to them, we will never allow you to change, even if you have an epiphany. We will never allow you to change. Determined individuals do great things in their country and for their country. So we have to break those barriers for Ghanaian youth to say, I can and I'm going to be. Why do you tell a Ghanaian youth that you can be a network engineer because you didn't do science? When other youth in other places around the world are coming to network engineering with creative skills from visuals and others, and they are innovating in their space, and we are the ones who are putting barriers in the way of the children and telling them, because we didn't do the same thing during our time, you will never be able to do it. So I'm grateful to Pentecost and I'm grateful to UMass that they had an open mind. By the way, other universities also submitted their application. Because we created,
is that them?
Yes. And it's about 50-50, 50 girls, 50% girls, 50% boys. And now they're doing pre-engineering, going to level 300. So the bottom line, my brother, is this. We have to begin to tell ourselves, how do we create a country where innovation and creativity will be at the forefront? How do we provide an environment where this creativity can be nurtured? How do we ensure that we don't create two Ghanas? One Ghana for the rich, Ghana for the poor. The talent of the poor is not being tapped into, and we are just tapping into a small pool of talent from those who are well-to-do. When all your medical doctors and engineers are coming from our background, our children from our homes, what happens to those in the villages who are also equally talented and probably more resilient? They go outside and walk around and come home to sleep at night. Our children are home. We are protecting them. And these resilient children don't have the opportunity to become engineers and medical doctors because they happen to be in the rural areas. They never saw a beaker at the junior high school, and they don't do on the science enough to be allowed to do.
The line of text messages now says that when is Educhum coming again? He has to come every week before the election.
I'm available. You see, these are the new courses we are doing in high school.
Some people say that the minister has forgotten about one of his biggest achievements, the Creative Art School in Kumasi. Tell him to talk about it.
Oh, yes, it's coming. And we are doing phase 1 opening first year. And actually, this school where we are recruiting students from around the country. Next week, the headmaster will hit the road and do audition across the country to get a talent to come there from all the regions of Ghana. And they are coming to Kumasi. And these young men and women are going to really upgrade our creative space and make sure that we improve whatever we're doing, the creative aspect is a very important aspect of what we should be doing. Wow. And that's why I'm so happy that now we are not just doing visual arts, we're also doing performing arts in high school. Because it doesn't make sense.
Performing arts in high school, so you can get people. At the beginning of this interview, I interviewed some young men who do skits and all those things. Yeah. So you're going to start getting that kind of quality straight from high school.
And these are individuals who would then say, I want to go to the university and do more. And by the way, they also do science in addition to the creative arts. So just like I said, that we don't need, you don't need integrated science. That's your pathway. You can add your creative arts and do it for 3 years as a science student. Because you see, sci-fi movies.
SHS.
Yes.
Then you're doing creative
arts. Yes. And then those who want to do creative arts would then add music and other things to the one creative arts course that they're going to be doing, performing arts that they're going to be doing. But there's so much happening in Ghana in the education space. It's really, really putting us in a space where in the next few years, edutourism will be on the increase. Even now, about a month ago, I had Tanzania coming, I had Liberia coming, wow. They all were coming to come and see what we have done in Ghana and how we can support them to do same. And we traveled to Jamaica on their invitation. They saw the work we've done and they couldn't believe it. But you see, the free senior high school that people sometimes say, oh, it's bad and we haven't done this. And there are others who are saying, I'm coming to review. What are you going to be reviewing? Reviewing for me means that you're going to make sure every child is coming and they are not left behind. Let me show you a graph. And it's a fascinating story of what is going on in Ghana. Transition from junior high to high school, Northern region is the highest.
Transition from junior to senior high.
For every 100 students who qualify to go to high school in the North, 95% last year reported. And they report early on.
95?
Out of 100.
Wow.
Go to high school from the Northern region.
From junior high?
From junior high to high school.
Okay, that's a graph you have
yes.
there.
Northeast and Savannah is 94%. And Upper East is 92%. Upper West is 89%. That's the lowest in the North. But the lowest in the North is higher than any rate in the South.
I see.
Volta region is 76%.
Wow.
Central is about 78%.
I see.
And now, when you hear the president talking about, let me have the free secondary education bill, some people don't understand that part of the bill is the free compulsory universal secondary education as a provision in it.
Somebody says, where can all these updates be seen? Can't Dr. Duchum put it on some page? Paul, create a TikTok page for him and keep loading the way you do it on your page so that Dr. Duchum can have it.
To work. So,
yes.
So if you look at what is going on, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if there's a review about secondary, it should be how we improve the numbers for those regions that are not showing. That is what we should be doing. Talking about it has not been.
Another person says, Dr. Duchum shows that a person does not have to be at the very top to make such a powerful change. We thank Nanado for scouting him and pulling him out of Los Angeles. Okay.
So Opokwari is the story.
Yes. What's Opokwari's story?
Being converted to a smart school. Classrooms are changing. They have their tablets. And a number of schools have their tablets, but they will have 500,000.
Oh, the tablets you were distributing is gone?
Yes.
To SSS people?
Yes. 500,000 is almost gone now.
Wow.
And we are looking forward to the next phase. But this is a classroom at Opokwari. You see the smart board there. And our goal, we are working on getting...
Is this a laboratory or a classroom?
This is a classroom.
And everybody's holding a laptop?
Yes. Everyone. It's one-to-one.
Oh, so that's how they learn in school these days? Yes. In Ghana?
In Ghana. This is where we are going.
Wow.
One-to-one learning.
Free.
Learning management.
Do they have internet connectivity?
No, they do.
Free?
Yes. We are now really revamping it to the extent that it will be campus-wide.
For the internet?
Internet.
So anywhere you are, you can have it?
Anywhere you are, you can. So you look at this, And these are the students of the Pukware. The campus is changing. 15 classrooms are going to be getting smart boards. And in fact, teachers are going to have their classrooms and students will go to them. Because you see, that is the story of how secondary education is done around the world. When the teacher is in charge, look at this environment. It's so inviting. If my classrooms look like this, learning will be different.
Yes, it will be.
So that is where we are heading, that classrooms become different. And that you have decorations. And that's what is done around the world in secondary education. In developed countries, when you enter a classroom, it's the teacher's classroom. Decorated, projector is there ready to teach. The child sits down and hear the teacher. It's not the other way around where students are sitting in the classroom waiting for the teacher. I visited Osu Presec about 8 months ago, thereabout. And look at the classroom, the inscription on the wall. Even for a mission school, you look at what will have been written on the wall.
We're looking for. Do you have a photograph of that? Osu Presec. Cameron, do you have to go there?
I went there and I saw it and I said to myself, something needs to change.
At Osu Presec?
Osu Presec.
Wow.
And other schools have similar situations. Students are seated in the classroom waiting for the teacher. No, the teacher should be. Look at the environment here.
Yeah, this is the Osu Presec.
Osu Presec. But inside the classroom, it was worse. Inscriptions on the wall, Kiba, Biba, something was here some.
Oh, those things?
In the classroom.
Oh, but that's not bad.
No. But
when Presec, we used to write
but do you have
Zaragoza was here some.
Do you have that on the, this is an inviting environment.
No, but that was in dormitories, not in the classrooms.
This is the classroom.
Rasta P was here some.
Rasta P and written on the wall. And someone
with
had
the bad boys.
Someone had written the smoke till death. Can you imagine?
Had written what?
Kiba Biba was here, and at somewhere it was smoke till death.
Smoke till death?
Death.
So you asked the class to paint those things away?
Of course.
But they are motivational, you know.
Now we've changed the entire environment. One classroom block inside and outside is all changed.
I see.
Because it doesn't have to be that way, and teachers are super excited.
Oh, as for the writing,
the environment is beautiful. And by the way, we sent a facility manager.
This Osu Presec?
Yeah.
The new Osu Presec? Oh, wow.
It can be done.
At the same place where it is?
Yeah. It can be done. No doubt about it. It can be done.
Oh, I see.
It can be done, and we should do it. So the classroom inside and outside, everything is there. But the good news is that just 2 weeks ago, we hired 50 facility managers, and more are coming. Every school must have a plant manager, somebody in charge of maintenance, making sure that everything works. And then we have to have get fund budgeting for maintenance so that you can maintain the facility and make the environment so good and nice that children can't wait to get into their classroom. That is the new.
Look, let me take text. It's now 11:30. Let me take text messages. Okay, so is Antoinette first? Anziba first. Okay, Anziba, what are people saying?
Should continue as the education minister no matter who wins the 2024 election. I wonder what the rest of the ministers are doing. Can they take a cue from this? Papa Eko says, I have always known that Honorable Iduchum has been the best minister in this government. No doubt. From Michael, he says, please kindly ask Minister about the graduates recruitment for us. In fact, this minister is working. May God protect him for Ghana. From Nana Kweku, he says, I'm always happy when I hear the ideas of the Minister of Education. He understands what he is doing, and he said he's watching from Cornwall, UK. Lastly, from Ernesto, he says the country and its educational sector are in the right hands. Vote 1, vote Bawumia. Over to you, Antoinette.
Yeah, so a few people still have concerns. Justice Afari to the Education Minister. Paul, please tell the Education Minister that the people working at the placing center are taking money to place students. I was told that they take 18,000 Ghana cedis for the grade A schools and 30,000 Ghana cedis for the grade B and 3,000 Ghana cedis, for the grade B schools. And this is giving the free SHS schools very bad names. Please tell him to solve that. I think he would hear that. Alhaji Bob City says, Paul, Dr. Educhim can even make a devil clap for him when it comes to the education sector. He is doing marvelously well. But there is one thing I'd like Doctor to do for me and all the other Ghanaians. The Ministry of Education should please publish the monies or the fees for each SHS students from Form 1 to Form 3, as well as the final exams fee. Okay. Nana Kweku Owari says, with the Asempaneye school, I have been there before because I was running a child labor project. He says the attendance rate was very bad because of their school building and the environment. God richly bless the education minister. Nana Kofi Asebu also asked, why don't you send the bills of the SHS paid by the government to the parents at the beginning of each term? This way, they would know how much is being spent on the free SHS policy. Mohammed Abdullah says, please humbly tell the Honorable Minister to visit the abandoned Malam Atta Day Care Center in the Ayawasu Central constituency to revamp it so that kids in the community can enjoy better childhood education, as the private ones are very expensive. Seth Ofori is also asking the minister when he's attending to his school. He says the BB Methodist Basic School in the Tyne District, Bono region. And lastly, Osman says, kindly tell the Honorable Minister to ensure that the moon desk and facilities are actually made and produced in Ghana. If that is the case, that would be better for the country. Now back to you.
Yes, Doc. So you wrote something down? Those schools
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
said
The issue about people collecting money. I always tell parents that we have well-trained staff there at the Solution Center. We even have a toll-free number. The idea that somebody comes to you, and there are people who go to vulnerable parents who want their children in certain schools and say, I can do this for you. We've seen it over and over. There are times when parents submit their request to the Solution Center and then pay money to somebody. And the Solution Center does the work and somebody collects the money for free.
Wow.
Yeah, because you see, I can understand parents are anxious.
Very anxious, yeah.
But I also want them to understand we are there for them. I remember walking into a school, I think it was Osu Presec, and there was a child who had been placed there. He was coming from Kaswa. And the child was telling me, sir, I'm spending 30 cedis a day getting here. Right there on the spot, I called the Solution Center and we sent him to Accra Academy. And that is what we are about. We want to facilitate the process for you so that education doesn't become too burdensome, especially for parents who need help the most. You cannot develop this country without eliminating poverty, and you have to help the poor to get access to education. And I always tell people that we are here for you. Don't pay money to anybody. If you go to the Solution Center, we have dedicated staff there. The Deputy Free Senior High School Coordinator, Ms. Afra, is there. Ask for her. She will do everything possible to change your situation. Please do not pay money to unscrupulous individuals who actually don't do anything for you. They just lie to you, take your money, and when the work is done by the Solution Center, they walk away free with your money. So please, we shouldn't allow that. And in terms of, we are now making provision for the cost to be printed. In fact, we are moving online, getting report cards to be printed, and parents will have access to that information easily. But also want the general community. We are looking at billboards with information on it, social media information.
To tell people that they don't have to pay.
Tell people that they don't have to pay, because the fear was that you generate a bill and somebody will charge. And a parent, unsuspecting parents will say, oh, it's a bill. So we need to make sure we get the public to know how much their tax cedis is working for the little ones that we are raising. And therefore, we'll do everything possible for the information to be out so that people fully understand. And by the way, we now have our own TV station. It doesn't
That's
mean
perfect.
I'm not going to be coming here, but we have channel MOE.
Ministry of Education.
Ministry of Education has its own TV station.
And it's on the NCA platform.
Yes.
Okay.
So our goal is to make sure that everything that we've done, people get to know. But I think I'll take the suggestion of others who say I should be coming here. And
yes, come here. And then we should also put everything together on our page.
Yes.
Now that you have a TV station,
the next 5 weeks before the election, I'm available.
Yeah,
I have to make sure that.
Who is your NDC counterpart, Dr. Clement Park? Is he the ranking member of your committee in Parliament?
Nochu.
Oh, Nochu is the ranking.
Nochu.
Yeah. But Apak seems to be the one who speaks quite a bit. He's the deputy ranking.
Deputy ranking.
Okay.
So my goal is that I want Ghana to know that something great is happening.
Yeah.
And it's happening under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. They gave me the freedom to innovate and guided me where I needed guidance. The president made it very clear to me when he first met me in America before he was elected that he needed me to come and help him change the education system. He asked me, after he visited my school and saw what I was doing, and said, please, can you come to Ghana and help me change the education system? And I asked him, what is it that you really, really want to change? He said, I'm bringing free secondary education, and Americans were the first to introduce free secondary education. So please come and bring your ideas to come and help me. Long story short, I came. He made me a deputy minister, and now I'm minister for education. Coming from a background where my mom didn't go to school, my dad didn't go to school, sitting in this seat is a miracle. And the kind of miracle I want Ghanaian children to know and understand. If you are watching me from a deprived community, so wo hwɛ me wo baabi a wo hia adokro nneɛma ɛden ma wo enjemu, don't give up. I want you to know that there's better day ahead of you. Who said won so daakye me mama anko school me papa anko school me education minister won so wobetimi aya de kese kra sen so education minister me mama anko school papa anko school ba me ko see schools ma abrofo e wa America memu e ma me fa omo adwuma e mo mo ye adwuma ma me e kofim say na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ka tell say me mra Ghana e mebo ane nsam besua so wo hwɛ me na niema aye de ama wo hu say wo daakye betimi aye fe asen me de enti ye hu na sua de na ade a na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo de aba so obi anko secondary school kwa ikobi na wo konso aye hu sua de na wo daakye aye fe na do nim de abaye adwuma kese asen ama Ghana ban me papa na odokoko na me cross secondary school kra no ni scout do be kono kakra me koe no enne me nim de e boa Ghana won so no we nim de e betimi aboa Ghana me nua me da say so frame number. I'm so grateful that I came here. I want Ghanaians to know that the better days of this country is ahead of us and not behind us. Let's force forward. Let us change Ghana and make it the best country anybody can ever live in. And that is the kind of country I seek to create and work for every single day. I'm grateful to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and I'm hoping that by the grace of God, President Muhammadu Bawumia will give me the opportunity to continue this way. So all those who love me around the country, I know there are quite a number of you, vote for my brother Muhammadu Bawumia. Because when you vote for him, you have also given me an opportunity to serve you once more. Thank you.
Amen. I have nothing more useful to add. That was Good Evening Ghana. Thanks for watching. Tuesday is another explosion. America will be voting that day, but we'll be here as well talking about everything. We'll continue to serialize the book from Tuesday as we go ahead and give you the dates for the launch. Thanks for watching. Good night.